Welcome to week 5 of the Overcoming Health Anxiety course. This week is all about exposure therapy. This is a powerful method for facing your fears that have been holding you back. If you've been avoiding things that trigger your anxiety, like doctor visits, symptoms, or even certain thoughts, this is where things start to shift. So what exactly is exposure therapy? Well, it's a proven method that helps to reduce anxiety by gradually reducing your fears instead of avoiding them. You do this in a controlled, step-by-step way. Now, the goal isn't to feel fearless, but rather to change your relationship to fear. So one of the key insights for this lesson is anxiety shrinks when we stop running from it. Right? So think of anxiety kind of like a bully, right? Which is an amazing analogy if you think about it. Anxiety is emboldened. It feels more powerful when you cower. When you cower in fear from anxiety, it only serves to strengthen your fear and your anxiety. But what happens when you stand up to a bully? You say, "Stop bullying me. This ends now. If you want to fight, let's do this. Let's fight. Because I am sick and tired of your shit." Try saying that to your anxiety and see what happens. How avoidance fuels health anxiety. Let's look at how avoidance actually makes things worse. Every time you avoid a trigger, you're telling your brain, this is dangerous. And the more you avoid, the stronger the fear becomes. Avoidance might feel like relief in the moment, but in the long term, it only keeps anxiety alive and thriving. Breaking that cycle is how we build confidence and peace. Exposure therapy is about gradual desensitization. This means by facing your fears bit by bit, starting small, and working your way up. It teaches your brain, this isn't actually dangerous. I can handle this. It's not about overwhelming yourself. It's about showing your nervous system that you're safe. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You only have to work at it a little bit every day. Just small steps, baby steps at first. How do babies grow with their steps? They get bigger and bigger and more confident, and before you know it, they're running. But right now, you're like that baby lifting its head up. Okay, so be patient and work at it. You'll get there. Okay, so creating your exposure ladder. Okay, to get started, we'll build what's called an exposure ladder. List your triggers, right? Get your mental health journal out and list them. Trigger is something that sparks your health anxiety, like hearing about an illness or feeling your heartbeat. And then rank them from least to most anxiety-provoking. And start with the easiest one and work your way up. Don't feel like you need to tackle the hardest one, just your least one first. And then stay in the situation until the anxiety decreases naturally. And repeat until each fear loses its grip, right? So rank them from the most anxiety-provoking to the least. Start off at the bottom of the list and work your way up. Okay? And then you'll notice as you work your way up the list, you'll gain strength and more resilience, and you'll then be able to go after your top one. Okay, remember the goal isn't to avoid discomfort, it's to move slowly through it. Okay, so here are some examples of exposure exercises and what they might look like. So mild exposure, reading an article about a harmless medical symptom. Moderate exposure would be watching a medical-related video or interview. And advanced exposure, scheduling a checkup or attending a doctor's appointment without excessive reassurance. Okay, so the key insight here is the more you face the fear, the less control it has over you. Face it. Stand up to that bully. What to expect during exposure. So I'm going to be honest with you. You will feel anxiety up front. There's no way around it. You have to confront it. And this is normal and completely expected. Your job is to stay with it and let it pass like an ocean wave or a wave of energy or whatever analogy you want to use, whatever resonates with you. Be like water, right? In a previous video I mentioned you want to be like a glass of water and absorb the stone as you drop into it and let it slowly settle, instead of being like a pane of glass and dropping the stone on it and the glass shatters into a million pieces. Be like water, okay? And over time, your brain will learn, this isn't dangerous. I don't have to run. So, avoiding reassurance is key. Don't Google. Don't ask for validation. Let your body and mind ride it out. You will be fine. Just relax. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Do your breathing exercises and remind yourself it's just anxious thoughts, anxious feelings. It's not illness. Just breathe. Okay, here's some key techniques. What to expect during exposure. Let's be honest, you will feel anxiety at first. That's completely normal and expected. And your job is to stay with it and let the wave pass. Think of it like a wave in the ocean or a wave of energy. Allow it to pass through you or wash over you. And don't resist. Resistance is futile. Just let it go. Just relax and let it be. Over time, your brain will learn, this isn't dangerous. I don't have to run. I don't have to hide. I don't have to fear it. It is just a thought. Avoiding reassurance is key. Don't Google. Don't ask for validation. Let your body and mind write it out. So here's a key technique to handle anxiety during exposure. These are 4 tools to help you ride the wave of discomfort, okay? So, first tool, breathe slowly and deeply. Breathing deeply and slowly sends safety signals to your brain. Number 2, label what you feel. I am feeling anxious, and that's okay. 3, use grounding techniques. Feel something. Feel your feet. Touch a textured surface. Focus on a sound. Listen to the bird chirping in the background. 4, remind yourself, this may be uncomfortable, but it is not dangerous. What happened last time? Yes, I felt anxious for a while. My breathing changed. I was holding my breath. But once I started breathing again, taking deep breaths, telling myself it's just a thought, it's just an anxious feeling, I will be okay. What happened? It became less powerful, and it will slowly dissolve. These techniques will help your brain relearn calm under pressure. Okay, it's important to track your progress. Use an exposure journal to track what you face and how it feels. You can use the same journal. You don't need multiple journals, just write it down. That's the important thing. Write in the journal, what triggers did you work with? Right? What triggers are you currently working with? How anxious did you feel before, during, and after? What thoughts came up? What helped you cope? Looking back and seeing your progress builds real confidence, and you might just be amazed at how far you've come. And if you'd like PDFs of all of the journal prompts and action steps, click the link in the description and you can download all 12 weeks worth, okay? All right. So here are some common mistakes and how to avoid them. Do not avoid the fear. Even a small avoidance resets that cycle. Don't avoid it. Just observe it and allow it to be, and let it wash over you like a wave. When you go to the beach, allow that wave just to pass through you, right? You can duck under it, right, if you want, but just maybe even turn sideways so it doesn't have as much, force on your whole body. If you go sideways, it's less pressure, right, on that wave. But do not avoid it. Do not rush exposure. Start slowly. Start at the low your less anxiety prone triggers, the ones that are not as powerful, and work your way up that list and go slowly. Be patient with yourself. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. Using safety behaviors. Don't bring a just-in-case coping strategy. Just in case, no. Remind yourself what's happened in the past when you've had similar thoughts or feelings. There's no need for just in case. Do not give up too soon. You are worth sticking through with this course. Watch all these videos. Practice what you're learning every week. Repetition is what will rewire your brain. Remember, it's okay to feel fear. Everyone still feels fear. I still feel fear, but instead of it being like a 9 or a 10 like it used to be, it's like a 0 or a 1. Well, it's like barely registers. It comes up and I see it. As soon as it starts to come up, I'm like, there's that fear again. I label it and I know that it doesn't have the power over me. It's like, okay, well, I tried, but he's not taking the bait, and it just kind of like goes away. Fear and anxiety really do not affect me anymore. And I know how scary, how terrible it can be. That's why I'm dedicating hundreds of hours of my life in creating this content for you. Even if I help one person, it will be worth it. Hopefully I help more than one, but just one. So once again, sorry, I get distracted. It's okay to feel fear. Just do not obey it. Fear is a liar. Fear is a bully, just like anxiety. You need to confront it. You need to stand up to it. You need to flip it on its effing head. Okay? You are more powerful than you realize. The guided meditation for this week is courage and exposure therapy. Okay, you will learn how to sit with discomfort without reacting, practice acceptance instead of avoidance, and build trust in your body, learning the ability to ride the wave. You can also be like a surfer on that wave if you want. And use it before or after an exposure to support your nervous system. Once again, as in previous weeks, I recommend you watch it every day. So that repetition will help you master these concepts, right? If you go, as much as I would love you to go from all 12 weeks back to back, that'd be great for the algorithm, but it won't be good for you, right? So I'm willing to take that hit in telling you, don't do that. Watch each of my weekly videos, watch it every day, right? Watch this lesson, listen to the guided meditation every day for a week until you have mastered it. If you can master it in 2 or 3 days, great. Move on to the next week, okay? It's up to you. Everyone learns at different paces. But some of these, depending on where you're at, you might need a whole week, okay? So listen to your body. You know yourself far better than I do. Just don't go too fast. That's all I ask, okay? So here are the journaling and action steps for this week. The journal prompt is, what do I tend to avoid out of fear? What do I tend to avoid out of fear? And also, as a little addition to that, what have I missed out on in life because of this fear? How much has this fear been holding me back? Right? It's sad to think about, but I lost years of my life because of anxiety and depression. The next prompt. How has avoidance impacted my mental well-being? What's one small exposure I'm ready to try this week? Here are your action steps. Build your exposure ladder. Write it down in your journal. And just choose one fear to work on with this week, right? Or if you're super gung-ho, focus on one fear each day, right? But don't do multiple fears in one day. Just maybe one fear each day. Or depending on how major this is, maybe one fear for the whole week. But once again, you want to start with the smallest fear and work your way up the ladder, okay? And then track your anxiety levels before, during, and after exposure, okay? And then use the guided meditation for this week to support you. So watch it every day for the best results. And remember, each step forward, no matter how small it is is still a big win for you. Key takeaways from this lesson. So let's recap the key ideas. Avoidance strengthens fear. Do not avoid. Do not resist. Resistance is futile. Just allow it to wash over you. 2, exposure weakens it. Right? Exposure weakens it. 3, start small and repeat often. Starting small and repeating it often is how you will learn to retrain your brain. We can program this. Think of it like a computer, and you're a programmer. You don't have to learn how to code. But what we say, our self-talk, what we tell ourselves is programming our mind. That's why affirmations are incredibly powerful. By listening to positive affirmations and repeating it in our mind, it's like reprogramming our mind. And that's why I will have a whole video series of positive affirmations. So check out my playlist. I haven't created it yet, but I will soon. Okay. Your job isn't to feel fearless. It's how to show up anyway. And next week, we'll be creating a long-term recovery plan and building a sustainable healing practice. Okay, so you are doing an amazing job. I'm very proud of you. And thank you for joining me every week and setting this time aside to take care of yourself. And remember, every small act of courage sends a powerful message to your brain. I can handle this. So keep stepping forward, even if it's just a little step at a time. You are building resilience, and you are reclaiming your life step by step. And you are not alone. We can grow through this together. And the final takeaway, the goal of exposure therapy isn't to eliminate fear instantly. It's to train our brain that it no longer has to react with panic, fear, or anxiety. The more you face your fears, the weaker they become. Stand up to that bully. The more you expose yourself to sensations, the less scary they feel. And the more you trust your body, the freer you become. Now let's put this into practice with a meditation called Sitting with Fear and Releasing Avoidance. It's designed to help you calmly sit with fear and rewire your brain for confidence. So once again, I'm Patrick Furner with TransformingSad.com, wishing you excellent mental health. Namaste.